call the meeting to order and welcome everybody. And if we'll start out with our invocation. Dave, would you start out?
Let's all be thankful together. Heavenly Father, we just pause momentarily to recognize the beauty of the day, the blessings that we're provided with. We thank you for our county and just the caring and passionate people that live here. And we ask you your guidance in leading us in our decision making. We just pray for protection over our country. And thank you for caring for us in Christ's name. Amen.
All right. I'll take this opportunity to introduce our newest member, Mr. Dan Nolan. And Dan, would you kind of give us a little brief history of your life story?
Wow. I'm moved to Paulding County in 1994, 2005. Moved to Atlanta in 1994. Moved to Paulding County in 2005. I lived in the Bentwater community for about 10 years. I'm now in the Governor's Town Club community in Paulding. Spent the better part of my life in the party rental business for the last 30 years. Built a pretty good sized business, 7 locations across 4 states. Does about $46 million in revenue. So I understand how to greenfield businesses and what they're looking for. I sold that business to a private equity group in February. I still have a small piece of it, and turned that into Governor's Gun Club. And I'm the chief operating officer of Governor's Gun Club now. And I decided to get into the leadership, try to get into the leadership of the county through an election to the school board. I was unsuccessful at that race here, the primary. And then after that was over, through a lot of the folks that I met through that, Commissioner asked me if I would consider coming to this board and the Airport Authority Board. And I felt like it was a good opportunity to give back to the community that's given a lot to me since I've been here. So my agenda is to help Paulding County heal, move forward, and do better going forward. So there you go. That's a little bit about me.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you. Okay, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from June the 8th. Should have those in the tablet there.
Make a motion to approve.
Have a motion to
Second.
approve. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
All right, Dan.
Wasn't in
Thank
the
you.
meeting.
Oh, no, you can't do that, you better. It doesn't matter.
You can't weasel out.
Well,
No.
I can't prove to me that's a meeting I wasn't in.
All right, next we'll move on to approval of the financial statement. Any questions about the financial statement? I don't think there's anything outstanding on there. I will throw a couple things out to you about finances. We actually were able to cut our insurance bill by over $5,000 this year and improved our coverage, lowered our deductible rate for our employees. So we're real excited about that. That took some doing. Thank you, Jody and Robert, for working through that. So we're doing everything we can do to keep our expenses to a minimum. I'll entertain a motion.
Well, can I ask one question?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I haven't looked into it right now. 1355, the lease sale, $8,040,000, what is that?
That was the film studio when Al was purchased.
Oh, okay.
And
So
that was that piece, and I guess it's showing up still on the books as until we do something other with it. It'll stay out there.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Anything else?
Make a motion that we approve the financial statement.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
A motion is second. Any further discussion? If none,
Well, I'm sorry.
okay.
1620, due from the county, 2012. B-bonds, will you tell me that, Robert, what that is?
Those are the bonds that currently are held by the IBA that the county is responsible for paying. And the reason they show up on here is if you read the intergovernmental agreements, the county is supposed to pay us, they're supposed to cut us a check every month for all of these bonds so that we can turn around and pay the bonds. But that just became a paper nightmare. So the county cuts the check or pays them all in a lump sum directly. But they don't pay us anymore. They used to pay us, and then we turn around and pay them back. And that was shortcut. Tabitha did that several years ago just to make it a little bit simpler.
I'm sorry, it seems like I see things on this tablet better than I do on paper. So I appreciate that, Robert. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else? Any further discussion? If not, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next, we'll move on to executive session. I'll entertain a motion to go to executive session to discuss litigation, real estate, and personnel.
Make a motion to enter into executive session for the discussion of real estate and personnel.
Litigation.
Litigation. And litigation.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion carries.
Wait, y'all take
Back.
a trash.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to get back into regular session.
Make a motion to return to regular session.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, I'll report that the executive session, we have no action was taken. But we do have some motions, I think, that are to be made, so.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to authorize the executive director to offer to purchase property identified as parcel 2018-B pursuant to the terms discussed in executive session and subject to approval in a subsequent public vote.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Any further motions?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve Robert Kraus to sign a short-term lease of 6 months for the film studio.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, for the sake of time, we're going to skip the executive director report and the chamber's reports. We have one person signed up to speak, Sue. We will entertain your comments.
Can I ask why you're skipping the reports?
Just the sake of time, Stacy said she didn't have anything, and I don't think Robert had anything in reports.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So I'm gonna let you know we've got about a minute left.
A minute left?
When you've got a minute, I'll signal to you.
Oh, I'll only be a minute.
Okay.
From what I understand, the film studio has not been sold yet, and I guess the motion you just voted on confirmed that, I assume. I don't know how you're going to handle the bond payment issue, but the Paulding taxpayers want you to pay your debt by making the bond payments and reimbursing us for the $2.1 million we've paid since 2015 on your behalf. You have a legal obligation to retire the bonds, both interest and principal, when a building is sold, according to D6 of the IBA amendment. I remind you the IBA is a government entity, not a private business. Therefore, the taxpayers who you're beholden to would appreciate you managing this authority under the legal guidelines that govern it and this board. Robert, also, I'd like to ask you, which bonds were you referring to when you answered Teresa's question that the county's paying?
She asked all the bonds, I referred to all of them. There's like 5 or 6 on them.
Yeah, there's several on it.
So that includes water tower, corporate hangar, film studio.
Paved subdivision streets, other infrastructure projects in the past.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
And that amendment, so you say is what?
It's the IBA amendment to the Georgia Constitution, and if you don't have it and haven't read it, and that goes for all of you, I suggest you do. I can
That's
forward it to you.
Amendment 6.
What's that?
Amendment 6?
It's D6, where it
D6.
references that.
Okay. I don't think I've ever read that.
Yeah, I can forward it to you if you'd like. Or I can, if the others, if you haven't read it, I can forward it to Jody and she could get it out to you. But,
Any further comments? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
We're adjourned.